Did you know that there's a waterfall in Antarctica that appears to bleed? An island where time travel technically becomes possible, and a town with a name so strange it sounds like a joke. What about a place where fish mysteriously rain from the sky? Or an ancient geoglyph so massive it can only be seen from space? And if you think that's wild, imagine a forest with dancing trees, or a lake so vividly pink it looks like something out of a fantasy movie. Our planet is full of mind-blowing oddities, so get ready because in this video we're diving into some of the most bizarre and unbelievable geography facts that will blow your mind. But first, if you love learning about the most bizarre and unbelievable places on Earth, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on our latest videos. So let's dive right in. At number 1, have you ever seen a blood-red waterfall? Deep in Antarctica, Blood Falls is a sight so eerie it looks straight out of a horror movie. This crimson-colored waterfall seeps from the depths of a subglacial lake, stained red by iron-rich water. When the iron oxidizes upon contact with air, it creates the illusion of a bleeding glacier, making it one of the most haunting and scientifically intriguing natural wonders on Earth. But what makes it even more incredible is that the water emerging from Blood Falls has been trapped beneath the glacier for over 1 million years, cut off from sunlight and oxygen. At number 2, have you ever heard of a place where fish fall from the sky like rain? In Honduras, a bizarre weather phenomenon known as lluvia de peces, or rain of fish, occurs at least once a year and sometimes up to 4 times. After heavy storms, locals claim to find live fish mysteriously scattered across the streets, seemingly having fallen from the sky. The exact cause for this is still unknown, but the most common theory suggests that waterspouts or strong winds pick up fish from nearby bodies of water and carry them inland before dropping them back down with the rain. However, the distance from the ocean and the type of fish involved make this theory somewhat questionable. Whatever the explanation, stepping outside after a storm to find fish flopping on the ground is truly bizarre. At number 3, this pink lake looks like it belongs in a fantasy movie. Lake Hillier in Australia is one of the most breathtaking natural wonders on Earth, famous for its striking pink waters that look like bubble gum. This surreal lake is nestled on Middle Island, surrounded by a rim of white sand, creating a stunning contrast against the deep blue waters of the Southern Ocean. This pink lake is so fascinating because the color remains vivid even if you scoop the water into a container. Scientists attribute this phenomenon to a combination of high salt concentration and a special type of microalgae. At number 4, these two islands seem really close but are separated by 20 hours. Between the United States and Russia lie the Diomede Islands, a pair of remote landmasses in the Bering Strait. Big Diomede belongs to Russia, while Little Diomede is part of the United States. Despite being separated by just 2.4 miles or 3.8 kilometers, these islands sit on opposite sides of the international date line, creating an astonishing 20-hour time difference. This means that standing on one island, you can quite literally see into tomorrow when looking at the other. Because of this, Big Diomede is often called Tomorrow Island, while Little Diomede is known as Yesterday Island. Number 5. Speaking of odd time, there's a country in Africa where people are still living in 2017. In Ethiopia, the calendar operates on a different system from the widely used Gregorian calendar. Instead of 12 months, Ethiopia has 13, with the extra month called Pagum, lasting just 5 or 6 days depending on the year. As a result, while the rest of the world has entered 2025, Ethiopia is still celebrating 2017. Number 6. Officially known as the Oceanic Pole of Inaccessibility, Point Nemo is the most remote location on Earth, lying a staggering 2,688 kilometers or 1,670 miles from the nearest land in any direction. True to its name, Nemo means no one in Latin, and this lonely spot is quite literally in the middle of nowhere. Because it's so isolated, the closest humans to Point Nemo aren't on Earth at all. They're astronauts aboard the International Space Station, orbiting just 258 miles or 415 kilometers above it. At number 7, did you know there's an island in the Pacific Ocean that has mysteriously disappeared? Bermeja, a mysterious landmass first documented in the 16th century, was long believed to exist off the coast of Mexico. It appeared on maps for centuries until modern explorers found nothing but an open ocean where it should have been. Explanations for its apparent disappearance include an erroneous observation by early cartographers, rising sea levels, and conspiracy theories claiming that the CIA destroyed the island to expand the exclusive economic zone allotted to the United States. Whatever the truth, Bermeja remains one of geography's strangest unsolved mysteries. At number 8, imagine a lake that violently boils all year round. The island of Dominica is home to Boiling Lake, one of the world's largest hot springs, reaching temperatures as high as 197 degrees Fahrenheit or 92 degrees Celsius. This bubbling cauldron is actually a flooded fumarole where volcanic gases heat groundwater to extreme temperatures. The lake's eerie, steam-covered surface and constantly churning waters make it look like a massive pot left on a rolling boil. Number 9. Boiling hot lakes are terrifying, but imagine a lake so deadly that it wiped out nearly 1,800 people in a single night, and not by drowning. Lake Nyos in Cameroon is one of the most dangerous lakes in the world due to its hidden threat: carbon dioxide. In 1986, a sudden and massive release of CO2 from the lake created an invisible, suffocating cloud that engulfed nearby villages, instantly killing thousands of people and over 3,500 livestock. Scientists have since installed degassing systems to prevent another catastrophe, but the lake remains a ticking time bomb of deadly gas. At number 10, have you ever wanted to take a flight that's shorter than your coffee break? Then head to Scotland, where Logan Air operates the world's shortest commercial flight between Westray and Papa Westray. Covering just 1.7 miles or 2.7 kilometers, this blink-and-you'll-miss-it journey is officially scheduled for 90 seconds. But in good conditions, the record stands at just 53 seconds. That's less time than it takes to fasten your seatbelt or hear the safety announcement. Just don't expect in-flight service. You'll be landing before they can even hand out a snack. Number 11. Wyoming is famous for its vast open landscapes and incredibly low population density. But here's a quirky fact you probably didn't know. There are only 2 escalators in the entire state. Both of them are located in Casper, Wyoming, inside separate banks. That's right, in a state covering nearly 98,000 square miles, you'll find more cowboys than moving staircases. A single shopping mall in any U.S. city could have multiple sets of escalators inside compared to Wyoming, which has more shopping malls than escalators. Number 12. Have you ever heard of the Slash? It's one of the strangest and most bizarre international border features in the world. Spanning the entire length of the U.S.-Canada border, the Slash is a 6-meter wide or approximately 20-foot wide strip of land, cutting through dense forests, mountains, and remote wilderness. It's like a giant invisible wall that was created to physically mark the border where natural landmarks weren't enough. The US and Canada are both responsible for funding the maintenance of 10 feet or 3 meters on either side of the center line, ensuring that trees are cleared regularly because legally not even a single tree is allowed to stand in this eerie no man's land. At number 13, imagine stumbling upon a massive fiery pit in the middle of the desert. One that's been burning non-stop for over 50 years. Located in Turkmenistan, this is the Darvaza gas crater, also known as the Gates of Hell. This natural gas field collapsed in 1971, creating a massive crater in the heart of the Karakum Desert. In an attempt to prevent the spread of methane gas, geologists set it on fire, expecting it to burn out in a matter of weeks. Over 50 years later, it's still burning, casting an eerie glow that can be seen from miles away. And it has now become a bizarre tourist attraction, drawing visitors eager to witness the never-ending inferno. At number 14. Speaking of hell, have you ever wanted to say you've been to hell and back? Well, now you can. This unincorporated community in Michigan is literally called Hell, offering visitors a chance to get married in hell, or even become mayor of hell for a day. The town was first settled in 1838 by George Reeves. Legend has it that when Michigan gained statehood, Reeves was asked what he thought the town should be called, and he replied, "I don't care, you can name it Hell for all I care." And the name became official on October 13th, 1841. At number 15, Hell isn't the only bizarre name in the United States. Imagine living in a town where answering the question, "Where are you from?" sounds more like a philosophical debate than a simple response. Welcome to Why, Arizona, a town with a name so bizarre it sparks confusion. The name originates from a Y-shaped intersection of two highways that originally defined the town's location. Though road developments have since changed the intersection shape, the town kept its unique name, ensuring it remains one of the most bizarrely named places in the world. Number 16. Near the coast of Colombia lies Santa Cruz del Islote, the world's most densely populated island. This tiny island is the length of 2 football fields and houses between 800 and 1,200 people. With no space for roads or large buildings, homes are packed tightly together, creating a unique self-sustaining community where every inch is occupied. And although the residents embrace a peaceful lifestyle, Santa Cruz del Islote has a population density roughly 4 times that of Manhattan, which is truly bizarre. At number 17, did you know that the Netherlands has more bicycles than people? With a population of around 17.5 million people, the country boasts an estimated 23 million bicycles. That's almost 2 bikes per person. Cycling is deeply embedded in Dutch culture, thanks to the country's flat terrain, well-maintained bike lanes, and cycling-friendly policies. In cities like Amsterdam, bikes often outnumber cars, and dedicated cycling highways make it easy to travel without ever needing a car. So if you ever visit the Netherlands, expect to see more bikes than cars, and maybe even more bikes than people. At number 18, you may be wondering what these mysterious lines are. The Nazca lines, a collection of over 700 massive geoglyphs in Peru's Nazca Desert, were created by the Nazca civilization between 500 BC and 500 AD. These enormous shapes, ranging from geometric patterns to detailed animal figures, were formed by removing the pebbles from the desert floor to reveal the lighter soil beneath. Their true purpose remains a mystery, with theories suggesting they served as astronomical markers or religious symbols. Visible only from above, their sheer scale and precision make them one of the world's most bizarre archaeological wonders. At number 19, this bizarre island is off limits. North Sentinel Island is one of the Andaman Islands, an Indian archipelago in the Bay of Bengal, and is home to the indigenous Sentinelese people, one of the last uncontacted tribes on Earth. They have lived in complete isolation for thousands of years, fiercely resisting any outside contact. Attempts to approach the island have been met with arrows and spears, making it one of the most forbidden places on the planet. To protect both these Sentinelese and outsiders from potential conflict or disease, the Indian government has strictly banned all visits, and entering these waters could cost you your life. Number 20. Did you know that beneath the bustling streets of Paris lies a hidden world? The catacombs is an underground ossuary that holds the skeletal remains of over 6 million people, carefully arranged in hauntingly artistic patterns. Originally created to address the city's overflowing cemeteries in the 18th century, the catacombs now stand as a chilling yet fascinating reminder of the city's deep and layered history. So, the next time you're strolling through the romantic streets of Paris, remember, beneath your feet lies a hidden world of bones. Number 21. Did you know there's a city where people still live in caves? Nestled in the heart of Turkey, Cappadocia is famous for its breathtaking landscapes and ancient cave dwellings, carved directly into the soft volcanic rock. These rock-cut homes date back thousands of years, and incredibly many people still reside in them today. Although these historic caves have been modernized with electricity, plumbing, and even Wi-Fi, the underground cave-like structures provide a one-of-a-kind glimpse into a living piece of history. Plus, with hot air balloons floating above the fairy chimneys at sunrise, it looks like something straight out of a dream. At number 22, did you know that Saudi Arabia imports sand? It might seem counterintuitive that a country with vast deserts would import sand, but it's a matter of the type of sand. Desert sand, due to its wind-worn smoothness, isn't ideal for construction, which requires coarser sand, like that found in riverbeds or on coastlines. Saudi Arabia primarily imports sand from countries like Belgium, the US, and even Italy. So, while the deserts seem endless, the real foundation of its skyscrapers and megacities comes from thousands of miles away. Number 23. deep in Death Valley, California. These massive rocks are known as sailing stones. They weigh hundreds of pounds and appear to move on their own, leaving long, winding trails etched into the dry lake bed. For decades, these eerie phenomena baffled scientists, sparking some of the wildest theories, with some people even claiming they were moved by aliens. However, the mystery was finally solved when researchers discovered that during rare winter conditions, a thin layer of ice forms beneath the rocks. When the sun rises and the ice begins to crack, strong winds push the rocks across the slippery surface, creating their mesmerizing trails. Even though we now understand the science, witnessing these sailing stones in person still feels like something out of a sci-fi movie. At number 24, these trees look like they grow upside down. The baobab trees of Madagascar and Africa are some of the most bizarre-looking trees on Earth. With their massive, swollen trunks and spindly branches, they appear as if they've been planted upside down, with their roots reaching for the sky. These ancient giants can live for thousands of years and store vast amounts of water in their trunks, allowing them to survive in harsh, arid climates. Despite their bizarre look, some of these iconic trees are estimated to be over 2,500 years old. And at number 25, speaking of bizarre trees, deep in Russia's Kaliningrad region lies the mysterious dancing forest. A grove of pine trees with trunks twisted into bizarre loops, spirals, and squiggles. Unlike most trees that grow straight, the pine trees here are warped into bizarre shapes, making them look like they've been frozen mid-dance. Scientists have speculated that wind patterns, soil instability, or even caterpillar activity might have caused this unusual growth, but no definitive answer exists. The dancing forest remains one of the strangest and most bizarre forests on Earth. At number 26, Isla de Quemada Grande, better known as Snake Island, is one of the most terrifying and bizarre places on Earth. Located off the coast of Brazil, this small island is home to thousands of highly venomous snakes, particularly the deadly golden lancehead viper. The golden lancehead's venom is so potent it can cause rapid tissue destruction and even death within hours. The island is completely uninhabited for obvious reasons, and is so dangerous that the Brazilian government has made Snake Island strictly off limits, except for some scientists under special permits. At number 27, imagine a massive, perfectly round void in the ocean, so enormous that it can be seen from space. This giant underwater sinkhole is one of the most bizarre and breathtaking natural wonders on Earth. Located off the coast of Belize, this massive underwater sinkhole is over 300 meters, or 984 feet across, and 124 meters, or 407 feet deep. Formed during the last ice age, the Great Blue Hole was once a vast limestone cave system before it collapsed, leaving behind this eerie circular chasm. From above, it looks like a perfect dark blue circle in the middle of the Caribbean Sea, like a portal to another planet. Number 28. Have you ever heard of a country without a capital city? Well, Nauru, one of the world's smallest nations, holds the unique distinction of having no official capital. This tiny island country in the Pacific Ocean covers just 8.1 square miles, or 21 square kilometers, and has a population of around 10,000 people. Government functions are carried out in Yaren, a district often mistaken for the capital, but it lacks the official status. Out of all the countries in the world, Nauru is the only one without a designated capital, making it a truly unusual case in global geography. At number 29, did you know that Mount Chimborazo is actually the closest point on Earth to the moon? It's closer than Mount Everest. While Everest is the highest peak above sea level, Mount Chimborazo sits along the equatorial bulge, meaning its summit is the farthest point from Earth's center. This makes it about 1.2 miles or 2 kilometers closer to space than Everest, despite being over 8,500 feet or 2,600 meters shorter in elevation. A bizarre reminder that highest and farthest are not always the same thing. And finally, did you know that hurricanes hit China more than any other country in the world? Since 1970, China has been struck by over 172 hurricanes, also known as typhoons in this region. One of the most devastating was Typhoon Salmai in 2006, which made landfall with winds exceeding 170 miles per hour. It was the strongest typhoon to hit China in over 50 years, causing widespread flooding and displacing hundreds of thousands of people. With its vast coastline and exposure to the Pacific, China remains one of the most hurricane-prone nations on the planet. And there you have it, 30 bizarre geography facts. Which one surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more amazing geography content. See you in the next one.